What's up, y'all? So, if you grew up in the early 90s, you will know that X-Men, the animated series, was invented because I feel like the show really made an impact in my life. When I first saw it, like in the early 2000s, it really capitalizes how comic TV shows should be. You can tell Jim Lee was the biggest influence when it comes to the cartoon series because you can see the comic shadowings and the anatomies is clearly, influenced by Jim Lee, and I see nothing wrong with it. But the fact that it's actually coming back after 1987 and in the TV show, I'm all for it. Last year, I've done my videos on it, so I think you're going to see more information surrounding the X-Men TV show. We know the voice actors that are coming back to the 97 on Disney Plus, but unfortunately, I think the voice actors for Cyclops and Magneto, I don't think they're gonna hire someone who sounds just like them. X-Men 97 producer acknowledges pressure of bringing mutants to Disney Plus. Wow, so let's get to it. X-Men 97 is coming to Disney Plus, and the producer knows there's a lot of pressure to do right by the mutants. In an interview with the direct exclusive producer, Bill DeMaio addresses all the swirling thoughts surrounding the upcoming show. People have been clamoring for the X-Men in the MCU for absolute ages now. Certainly, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness opens some doors when it comes to the status of live-action X-Men, but there is no big project in the works for that corner of the world yet. However, X-Men 97 is totally happening, and if that weren't enough, it might have the more or living up to the legacy of virtually beloved X-Men animated series from the 90s. To wonder if wonder if the cartoon was the most popular thing these characters ever inhibited. DeMaio is aware of all of this and is committed to making the best show possible. Here's what he said about the 97. We had to say, so I'm not even going to read the rest. From a studio and process standpoint, no different. Kevin Feige and some other names who's working with us on this, who are producers, they have the same level of involvement he began. I know in some studios, animations is treated like the red-handed stepchild, and honestly, what if? And Marvel's other animated series are treated just as serious as the live-action properties. And X-Men in particular is something that is very close to Marvel Studios' hearts now that it's back home and the studios, so that has been different. So I think he's basically saying that even though the X-Men is a part of the MCU now, I think the biggest question that, just like us, that we've been asking, how is it going to look like live action in the MCU? Like, are they going to hire the Wolverine actor to give him the proper costume like the 90s comics or the TV show? I'm not sure, but it depends on, how they introduce the X-Men to the MCU. So let's continue on. It's just like X-Men means something a lot of people. There's a way in and responsibility there. I think now that it's back at Marvel Studios, that is very different. And that I'm always aware of. DeMaio continue. The funny difference is more sleepless nights because of Moon Knight. If something didn't go right, I was like, well, Jeremy Slayer, it is running the show. So at the end of the day, he'll have to figure it out. There have been several moments where I'm like, well, someone needs to figure this out. Oh, it's me now. Laugh. So there's been a lot of growth, I say, that I have to do with the X-Men 97, just as a storyteller and as a producer and as a person. Once again, my apologies. I think the biggest pressure for him is like try to figure out how they're going to treat the mutants the same way how they were treated like in the 90s and all the way up to now. I think it is kind of difficult for people to bring back the TV shows from the 90s and try to make it into a modern take. But whatever it is that they're going with, I just hope it's not going to be something that will cause a lot of controversy. But for me, I'm just gonna wait until I see it for myself because we really don't know what's gonna happen. But deep down, I really do hope that they're actually gonna somehow bring back the voice actors from the '90s TV show, and hopefully they'll be able to give better scripts this time. So let's continue on. All right, so that was the article of the X-Men producers, and shout out to. So getting back to this article, for some odd reason, I just feel like I am gonna give this series a chance, and I'm gonna have to check out this Moon Knight TV show because I heard it was good. So I'm gonna have to check it out, do some reactions and reviews of it though. But yeah, and you know what? Hopefully they'll be able to give the X-Men some justice. And something tells me they're gonna probably do some updated animations. But I am looking forward to the series still. So I can care less what the right wingers say or the leftists say. I don't care about none of that crap. What I care about is how the show does. For my personal take, for my liking. So if y'all want the article, I will post it in the description below. So yeah, I'm hollering at y'all in my next video.